Okay, next is, okay, we're jumping around a little bit. This is this is the ticket for Lollapalooza 93, July 31st, 1993, at the Houston Raceway Park, which is actually located in Baytown, and it's not called the Houston Raceway Park anymore. It's called Royal Purple or something like that now. Anyway, so this was for Lollapalooza, and 1993, Alice in Chains headlined Lollapalooza, and here's a little tidbit for any people that are younger than like 30 out there. Once upon a time, Lollapalooza was a traveling music festival. They went to cities all over the country. It was a big touring festival, almost like Ozfest used to be, or something like that. But this was one of the first ones that, and then it started becoming really popular in the 90s, because then you had like Lilith Fair and stuff like that after Lollapalooza came out. Anyway, it was Alice in Chains was the headliner, and they also had Babes in Toyland. I still have my t-shirt somewhere. I can't remember who all was at it. The one thing that I do remember vividly was, I wish I had pictures to show you, but I used the camera from the college that you could check out, and the back of the, and this was back before we had digital cameras, and the back of the camera flew open and exposed all of my film. Yeah, I never used anybody else's camera again. I always used my own, or before I had my own, I used my mom's, because my mom had a really reliable, very good camera as well, because she was always into photography too. So I don't have any pictures of Lollapalooza to show you, which is a crying shame, because now, you know, because the one thing that I do remember, aside from getting sunburnt like no other, I mean, it was weird. I was like sunburnt on the top of my eyebrows, right along my hairline, the bridge of my nose, the tops of my shoulders, the tops of my legs, because I sat there and had to, like, you could get your hair, like, take a piece of your hair and they'd wrap it and string it, and it took like 2 hours to do it. And I think that's when I got sunburned, because everything was out in the open, there was no shade, because it was a raceway park. It wasn't any place where you could sit under shade. Anyway, other than getting sunburnt, the one thing that I do remember is how incredible Alice in Chains was to see in concert, and how incredible Lane Staley was, who was the lead singer, and he died, I think in 2004, I think. I'll have to look it up. And I'll put the date in there. Anyway, I feel really lucky that I got to see them in concert, but I feel really sad that I don't have any pictures of him, because he was a magnetic performer. It was incredible. He was mesmerizing. Next is June 10th, 1995, and this was, I believe this was at the Summit. It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure this was at the Summit. Tim McGraw, Little Texas, and Black Hawk. Oh yeah, there it is, at the Summit. Duh. Yeah, so there's that. Look, it's all bent up and stuff. Yeah, Tim McGraw, Little Texas, and Black Hawk. I do believe, I remember they did shoot some video at that concert for one of his music videos, and I do believe that it was for Tim McGraw's song I Like It, I Love It, because I think that was all concert footage, and they shot some of it at the Summit, at this concert that I was at. I'm not in it, because I was up in the nosebleeds, so you couldn't see me. June 10th, 1995. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. It was me and my friend Cindy I think Cindy went with me to that. Next is Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, Saturday, November 11th, 1995. John Michael Montgomery. And this I covered for my college newspaper. And you're probably going, John Michael Montgomery who? Exactly. And he was big back in the mid-90s, the early to mid-90s. He was really big as a country artist. You may know his brother better. His brother is one half of Montgomery Gentry, the duo Montgomery Gentry. But the one thing I don't really remember much about this concert, other than the fact that John Michael Montgomery would not look at my camera. Every time I tried to take his picture, he would look away. He was being an ass, to say the least. And he's not doing anything anymore, so he had no reason to be an ass. Let's see. Still don't know who these tickets are for. Another ticket for that February 16th. I don't know who it was to see. Grr! Okay, next is another baseball game. July 5th, 1997. New Orleans Zephyrs versus Iowa. This is, this, I don't know if they still own it, but this was the AAA minor league team that was owned by the Astros Club, the Houston Astros Club, and they're called the New Orleans Zephyrs. This was a game that we went to. It was me, my mom and dad, my aunt, and some other people. We all went to New Orleans. It was my first time ever to New Orleans. And one of the things that we did was we went and saw this baseball game. And if you have the opportunity to go see a minor league game, go. It's so much fun. There's not as big of a crowd. The tickets are a lot cheaper. And it's more entertaining. They have, you know, crowd participation sort of things where you can win prizes and stuff. So, this was a good time. New Orleans Zephyrs versus Iowa at Zephyr Field. Okay, next is Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, May 13th, 1998 to see Van Halen. Now, I'll tell you, this was Van Halen 3. This was when Gary Cherone, who used to be the lead singer of Extreme, was Gary Cherone, ex-lead singer of Extreme, was fronting Van Halen. I think they made one album, and that was it. Yeah, I think it was just one album. Anyway, so my friend Christy and I went and saw this concert at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, along with some of her friends. And it was fun. It was fun. Even though it wasn't David Lee Roth and it wasn't Sammy Hagar, Gary Cherone is an outstanding singer. And the fun thing about it is that he was willing to play songs from both eras, from the Roth era and the Hagar era. So it was a lot of fun because he was willing to play all the songs. Alright, that is... oh no, on the floor. Okay, that's all the tickets from these two envelopes. Now on to the more recent ones. This one I found in that hat box too, the archives, sorry. My archives is a hat box. Houston Astros versus the Baltimore Orioles, Minute Maid Park, June 3rd, 2003. So that was another time to see the... I'm trying to remember if this was the one field box. I don't know. No, one that me and my parents went to. There was one, I can't remember which one, that I actually took my dad to for his birthday, but I don't think it was that one. Alright, some of the more recent ones. Alright, 2011 and 2012 was a very good year for my concert going experiences. All of these things my friend Christy and I went to. So, the first one is June 4th, 2011. We went and saw Rock of Ages at the Hobby Center in Houston. There it is. And then here's my playbill for it, signed by Constantine Maroulis, who was playing the lead character in it. Very exciting. We weren't expecting. I mean, I've never been to like a big play before. I didn't know that they came out to the side and signed autographs, and we just happened to be leaving right about the time he came out, and he signed it. And there's that. Next is June 10th, just like a week later from seeing the Rock of Ages. Motley Crue, Poison, and New York Dolls. June 10th, 2011 at the Toyota Center. And this is the one and only time that I've ever been in the Toyota Center. It's really, really nice. They had it very well organized, getting you in and out of that place. It was very, very nice. And this was an awesome concert, and I got some really good pictures of it. And there was a picture from that concert in my last video, but I can put another one in here. Next is July 10th, 2011, which was a month later from those other things. The House of Blues, Houston, Cinderella. There was a band called Cinderella, for those of you who are too young to remember. It's not the Disney character, it's not Disney on Ice. There was a band called Cinderella. Look it up, find their music. They're really good. They got mislabeled as a hair band. I think they were wrongly labeled as a hair band from back in the 80s. They're really kind of a southern rock blues band, and they're really good. So that was Cinderella. This was the first time I saw them in concert. I was very excited. And I caught a pic at that concert. The guitar player's pic. See, it says it has his signature on there. It says Jeff LaBar, and then on the back side, if I can get it, it has his picture on there. It was so awesome. I actually had my hand up taking a picture, you know, and this hit me right in the wrist, and I had to like take my cell phone flashlight and try and find it, and it was awesome. It's the first time I ever caught a con.